What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Blue and your boy Name here, back with the DB Sports Zone channel. And then today, guys, we are coming with some news that all of us expected. Head coach Ron Rivera has been relieved from his duties. He is no longer the head coach in Washington. And this is the first step in this offseason that a lot of Commanders fans are somewhat hoping that they could turn this team around. Naeem, your initial thoughts of the firing?
I mean, surprisingly, like we did it pretty quickly. Like usually, I don't expect that from our owners and our management. Usually, we take our time with these things, but I like Josh Harris moving swiftly and quickly. I woke up to this, and then, bro, after that, it was like 20 posts of like, we're interviewing this dude, we're interested in this dude. So they're definitely moving quickly and swiftly, and the candidates are definitely, most of them I really like, all those candidates they have chosen so far. So, yeah, I like how they're handling the situation.
Yeah. No, I agree. It was like around 8 a.m. I know today, like the Falcons fired Arthur Smith like 1 minute after
Bro, it was like
12
5
a.m.
minutes in.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
that was pretty funny, but it was expected. It's something that us fans have been calling for a while. Should have happened last year, but hey, better late than never. Also with the firing comes some other news. Josh Harris has hired former Golden State Warriors GM Josh Myers. Is that his name? Bob
Bob
Myers. Sorry,
Myers.
Bob Myers, and Rick Spielman, former GM of the Minnesota Vikings. Those two for advisors, not GMs, but advisors for the team. And I think that's somewhat big news because if you look at both of them, their track record, obviously the dynasty in Golden State all came from Myers. And then with Rick Spielman, he had some nice picks. It was the reason why the Vikings picked Adrian Peterson. He was also the guy was in that video, the reaction video to when he saw that Jalen Rager was taken before Justin Jefferson, and they decided to take Justin Jefferson. And it's not like obviously like there's going to be some misses, but what I'm happy is that Josh Harris is bringing these guys along on his team and saying, "Hey, let's figure out the next head coach and GM." And I'll keep saying it. It's not they're not the GM. They're just going to advise. Because it's not like in the past where Snyder would just be like, "Okay, I want this guy, I want this guy. I don't want anyone else to tell me." Josh Harris is bringing in these guys to make a group decision. So, what are your thoughts on Myers and Spielman?
Yeah, you covered it pretty much. I like how they're advising and stuff. But like, so we need a GM, right? Wait, so what? Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I tuned out this year. Like, so what's Martin Mayhew doing?
So that's the
Is he
thing.
executive?
A lot of fans are saying that Martin Mayhew hasn't been fired yet. The only guy that's been fired, I think, is Ron. So we don't know if
Yeah.
day by day they're gonna fire everybody or they're gonna keep Mayhew, Herney. I don't know, but hopefully, our hope is that they're gonna clean house, even get rid of EB. So, yeah, I'm confident, dude. I'm confident in these two guys. And what's crazy is, name we didn't figure out about these two guys as being advisors until they fired Ron Rivera. Like that's insane. Like
Yeah.
how Josh Harris kept it so low key. That's pretty impressive considering the fact that there's so many NFL rumors that we even hear a rumor about this. And the fact that Harris has been talking to these guys behind closed doors, it just goes to show that he's about business, man.
Yeah, but I wanted to ask you, what do you think you're like with all the people that it came out like who they're gonna interview and maybe hire? What do you think like you're the best like if they like clean house? Obviously, with, they already did with Rivera. They get rid of EB. So like, what would your coaching staff look like?
So
Like, I
the
mean,
guys that the guys that okay, so I'll talk about the guys that I think they've requested an interview, and then I'll talk about who I
mm,
want. There was Raheem Morris, the defensive corner from the Rams, Ben Johnson, also Mike McDonald, not McDaniel, Mike McDonald from the Baltimore Ravens. Those guys. Also, there was rumors about Jim Harbaugh, but I don't think that's going to happen. And also, if the Michigan,
mm,
I feel like maybe he might go to back to the NFL if Michigan wins the title, but I don't know. I just don't see him happening coming to Washington. So those are the guys that I've heard so far. But who I want Ben Johnson. Again, I've been saying this from day one. I want a young guy. I wouldn't hate the fact that we brought in Mike McDonald because with both that way he's been transformed. That Baltimore defense just playing like an elite defense. I think they came in number one in so many statistical defensive categories. So I wouldn't hate the fact that we got McDonald, but I would prefer an offensive young guy over a defensive guy because at this point in the NFL, we can see as fans that this league is driven by offensive minded coaches, young guys, young blood. So I would prefer Ben Johnson. Raheem Morris, I haven't done really much research about him. So I'm not like too like sure about him. Bobby Slowick, a guy OC from the Houston Texans that was on the 2013 coaching staff. So any young guy I'm looking at, but obviously these candidates out there, they all look great. So, what about you?
Yeah, probably Ben Johnson for head coach if we fire EB. But then I'm sitting here thinking like, what would we do for DC? Because like obviously there's like Raheem Morris, Mike McDonald out there, but they're definitely like gonna go for like head
Did you
coaching
hear
positions. So
the Wink Martindale parted ways with the Giants?
yeah, but like how's he like? I don't know too much about. I
No,
mean, I
I know, I
remember when
know.
he was on the Ravens, but the Giants. I mean,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
be honest.
No, yeah, yeah. I don't. I honestly don't know. Again, like, dude, I'm just putting all faith in Harris, and they know what they're doing. Because, like, as much as we can say, oh, we want this guy, we want this guy. Like, obviously, he's gonna be the one making calling the shots. So, I, I honestly, any guy for me is fine as long as they prefer the offensive guy first. And if that doesn't work out, then maybe go after a defensive guy like McDonald.
Yeah, if like Johnson and Slowick are taken, I think Mike McDonald is my third option. Then you can like sign him for head coach.
Yeah. But, no, dude, I'm hyped, bro, like, hopefully day by day, like, I obviously, I would be a little concerned and upset if they keep, like, anyone from the old regime because it's like, what's the point of doing that? You've seen what they've done. Clearly can't evaluate and scout talent, especially drafting them as well. But, no, I'm psyched, bro. This is the first step of an off season. I guess we can talk about the fact that, like, what are some things that we are looking forward to besides the coaching changes and, like, the front office changes? I'm, like, psyched to see, once they figure out all the group of guys and their team, we just look at the draft picks and we look at the cap space. And if you're the guys that they brought in are ready to take over and just revamp this team, what do you think they're going to try to address first come like free agency and even the draft?
I expect us to draft a young quarterback, whether it be Drake May or Caleb Williams. So and when that happens, I think the goal should be, especially if you get an offensive minded head coach, and it should be build the offense, especially that O line. Maybe get another weapon or two. Yeah, I definitely expect them to work with that offense, and then on the defensive side, I feel like they're just gonna go young. I think they'll probably add some veterans in that O line, maybe another young guy in the receiver core, or maybe someone's already proven. But that defense, I think I would trade Jonathan Allen. I'd probably see what Kendall Fuller's value is because he's getting up there in age as well. Might be time to pounce on his value. Deron Payne, I think we should keep because we can't just get rid of everybody. But yeah, I think it's just a complete overhaul of everybody on that defense.
No, I agree. I think you have to look at every position and like literally think like, okay, like is it worth bringing this guy back after a free agent? So I'm looking forward to it. I guess we can talk a little bit about Rivera, although it was a roller coaster of 4 years. We kind of talked about it yesterday, but what was your like the your favorite moments? We're talking about the favorite moments and the bad moments because a lot of bad moments. What was your favorite moments in the Ron Rivera era? The good, the bad, the ugly. Mm.
Let's see. I'll see that Taylor Heineke game, but like against the Tampa Bay, but like I feel like it's more Taylor Heineke than Ron Rivera though. So
No, no.
I wouldn't do that. But I'd probably just say the COVID season, how he managed the COVID season, especially when he had cancer as well. He beat cancer and he was still coaching pretty well. I don't remember if that was the same season or not, but maybe it was the season after. But just around that time period, we won during the COVID season, and then I remember we also beat the Steelers that year, and he beat cancer. So doing all that together, it's pretty nice.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I agree. Those wins are pretty insane. Also, when we beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at FedEx after they won the Super Bowl that year, when we were like 2-6, and then we started that crazy win streak, the fluke Mickey Mouse win streak, but also like being the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. So there were times where like Ron like had us believing and like saying that hey, maybe we're not that bad after all. But eventually, the tides would turn. Uh,
Mhm.
Obviously, like, I'll keep saying it. I think, like, when it comes to the guy itself, I think everyone in the locker room respected him as a man. When it came to the X's and O's and, like, calling the shots and being a general manager, evaluating drafting talent, and accountability. He completely failed. Big zero for that. And now we can talk about the ugly. I mean, bro, like it was
Mhm.
just it was a lot. It was a lot. The fact that like he had a pretty good offensive line when he inherited the team, and his offensive line just year by year just went down. The roster itself went down. I mean, not being able to
Yeah.
find an adequate linebacker. Um, I think it was we lost Trent Williams because Ron Rivera told him that hey, he played for a contract, even though he deserved a contract already. But Trent was already out the window anyway. What else? What else? What else? I'm blanking. Oh, missing out on key guys in the draft. It's probably
Reaching on Emmanuel Forbes is probably the worst draft pick we've had in recent memory. That brother is trash. He's
Jamin
so
Davis.
bad.
Just Jamin
Jamin
Davis.
Davis, I mean, yeah, come on, bro. That brother
Mm,
right there. Yeah,
yeah,
the drafting is definitely the worst part because I think Jake Gruden did a way better job drafting as well. I mean,
yeah.
obviously he missed on the Dwayne Haskins pick, but I mean, we needed a quarterback that
The
year.
one thing I'll say about Snyder, I mean Gruden, is that I think that year he didn't want to take Haskins. Gruden said he was kind of
Yeah,
forced.
yeah, be honest. Yeah, he was forced to take Haskins that year. I wonder who he would have took besides Haskins, but
I think it was Daniel
yeah,
Jones. But, no.
I mean, Jerry Jones went way before him, so I wonder what
Yeah,
he would
yeah,
have done. What he
yeah.
would have done after that, but
Mm.
yeah, obviously he missed on that pick. But I mean, the misses happen. Yeah, I mean, even he drafted Terry in the third round, man. Like he drafted Tony Gibson as well. Obviously, he's not that great anymore, but like obviously the first rookie year, he had a great year. So yeah, I miss Jay Gruden for the drafting, but Ron, um, like you said, man, like evaluating talent, X's and O's. He just doesn't do that well, man. I mean, he can give you a good speech, he can talk you up, run through a wall, but then when you get on that field, man, it's
It's just
just
the
it's
yeah,
the it doesn't pan out. It doesn't pan out.
yeah, you're just yapping at that point. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that it's bad, bro. It really is. I mean, the losses that we've witnessed. I mean, where do you even begin? The fact that you lose to Tommy DeVito at home. You also what was it? You lose to Tyrod
The
Taylor when the
worst
Giants
one the worst one has to be,
the Browns
was it
game.
Sunday Night Football? No, Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football against Dallas where Jonathan Allen,
Oh,
Daronte got in the
oh
fight.
yeah.
That
When
has
we
to be
were
the worst
clearly
one by
yeah, that
far.
was a blowout Sunday night
That's the worst
massacre. We
one.
just did not look like an adequate team. Game blown out. The Browns game where he subbed in Carson Wentz for Taylor Heineke and Carson Wentz just wetted the bed. It was so bad that game.
Yeah.
The Thursday night game against the Chicago Bears when they hadn't won a game in over a year. And just
Yeah.
coming out like that was the Rivera was a team would just always come out so flat in the first half. Like we would be down,
Yeah.
like it's just like bro, like we're already down by this much. The ability to not like show any improvement on any position on the roster. The fact that he just kept saying, "Oh, we like the guys here, we like the guys here, we like the guys here." When there's so many free agents out there that are way better than some of the guys that we have in the building. So if you factor all that in, it's
Oh,
just
that
not a
was
good
the
look.
worst thing, bro. I hate it when he said, "We like the guys, you like the guys here." Bro, shut up, man.
Yeah.
We like the guys here. He was just he didn't have a balance of like knowing when to get rid of somebody. And he had too much love for his players, I'd say. He was too
Yeah.
loyal to his players. Again, I bring up the soccer comparisons. I'm a Liverpool fan. It's a lie. It's like basically saying with our manager last year, like we had a down year. They said he was too loyal to his players. He got rid of his players, and now look at us. So it's just like those type of coaches and managers. Some you got to have a balance of being loyal, but knowing when to get rid of somebody, man. You can't. That's why like, sometimes you can't get too close to players, man. Like you build a bond. And it's like, bro, I can't get rid of him. He's like my guy and this and that, but sometimes you gotta lay down the law. It's business. You gotta get rid of him, man. But
Yeah.
I'm happy he's out. But I wanted to ask you, where do you think he goes?
I think he's done with coaching, bro. I don't think he deserves to be a coordinator. Maybe like an assistant to assistant. If I
Definitely
was
not a
him, I'd
coordinator,
probably,
bro.
yeah. If I was him, I'd probably like just be like those guy, like those positions that like motivate NFL players, like to go out and do something, you know. But like, yeah, dude, 26, 40, and 1 was his record in Washington. Like that, it's just it's insane to think about it, bro. Like how like we really thought this man could change everything. And again, not all of it is his fault. I mean, when he came in, just so much distraction and all, but there were so
Mhm.
many times where there was clearly an issue and a need on this roster, and it just wasn't any sense of urgency to improve anything. So that's that's Ron Rivera for you, bro. But
Yeah.
again, brighter days are ahead, dude. I'm happy about it. I really am. The fact that this team has 5 picks in the top 100 and all this cap space. But the thing is, dude, I was thinking about it yesterday. I don't. I think the Bears fans are still 50-50 on Justin Fields if they
Yeah.
somewhat trade away. If they draft Caleb Williams at 1, what do you think the Commanders should do if Caleb Williams was their guy?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know too much about Drake May. Um, with him, dude, we need quarterback, but I'm such a big fan of Marvin Harrison Jr. I'd love to have him on the team, but I genuinely think like if it gets to the point where you think Chicago's gonna pick up Caleb Williams, you trade for that first pick. I'm sorry. We have assets. We have a bunch of cap space as well. If it gets to that point where it's looking like Justin Fields isn't the answer, and they don't think Chicago doesn't think he's the answer, and they want to draft Caleb Williams, you trade for that first overall pick, in my opinion. Maybe toss in a guy like Jonathan Allen if you need to. I don't know.
Mhm,
But yeah, I think for me it has to be Caleb Williams right now. It has to
mhm.
be.
Yeah, no. I see I see what you're getting at, bro. I just hope that whatever these guys decide to do, that everyone, and I mean everyone's on board with it. It's not just Harris saying, "Okay, this is who I like," and other guys want someone else. They have to be on board and come to the conclusion that we have so much faith in this guy. And I don't know if it can be like a CJ Stroud, Houston Texans type of turnaround, but I'm just
Mhm.
hoping that, like you said on a live stream yesterday, that once we see this new team and become next season, week 1, we see an identity with this team. That even though we're losing, at least they're being consistent with the identity, and
Yeah.
improvement will come and wins will come as well.
You see like the GM options too. A lot of good GM options. I think it was like the Eagles GM. I think Chiefs, Niners. So it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
Adam
good ones.
Peters, some of the GMs from the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
Yeah, all these guys, bro. Just hopefully, like whatever they do, they can just evaluate talent and just in the early rounds in the draft, in the first and second or third rounds in the draft, be able to just not like be so cute and pick like a guy that's a big reach. Just go for the guy that's just the best player available, because that's what you need to
Yeah.
do. Because I'm gonna be honest, dude. As
Exactly.
much as you can sign big time free agents, Super Bowls are won within the draft room. You got to be able to draft. You got to be able to plug in guys. Be able to say, "Hey, this is the guy that can win us a championship." And even in the late rounds, like I hate the fact that like there's so many guys out there that are gems in the late rounds, and we still like take a useless position. Or what we did with Rivera, we took a useless position in the late round, like drafting Cameron Cheeseman, trading up for him. It's like small things like that. It's like, what's the point? Like, you might as well let a fan go at it in the draft room and just
Yeah.
pick a random name, bro. But yeah, dude, I'm psyched, bro. This was expected. It was January 8th, 2024. Rivera is finally gone. The Commanders fans can finally be happy and hope for a new turnaround. And hopefully, just hopefully, we'll get back to winning. I haven't seen this team really be successful in a long time. I guess the thing is, when it comes to being successful in NFL, like I would say, like you have to win a playoff game, right? Like
Mhm.
going to the playoffs is not successful. Like
I
it's
mean,
some.
it's different for everybody, bro. If you're a team that hasn't made the playoffs in years, I think it starts with making the playoffs. Uh, you can't just you can't just say like a playoff win for everybody successful. Like if the Chiefs only got one playoff win, then you look at them like, yo, like, what are we
Yeah,
doing here?
no, I
So it's
agree.
definitely subjective to every team. For us, I'd definitely say at least one playoff win.
Mhm,
It's a tough division as well. Don't get that twisted, but I think there's definitely I think our division is tough, but a lot of the teams, at least this year, I saw a lot of the teams like you had your division leaders, but then after that, a lot of the teams were very mid. Like you look at the second best team in was the NFC West, Seattle. You look at the NFC South. I mean, that whole division was not that good. Then you look at of course you had the Lions, but then I think what the second team was 8-9. The Packers are 9-8. So it
mhm.
wasn't even anything crazy. And then obviously our division, the Eagles and the Cowboys dominated. So and depending how the NFC goes on, the NFC's at right now it's at a really weak position. So um if we don't win the division, there's a good chance that we can get in the playoffs. I mean, obviously, it's gonna be in a year's time, so a lot could change. But what it looks right now, the NFC is really weak, so it's definitely time for the Commanders to pounce on it to get into the
And
playoffs.
it's also the fact that like they added more seeding in the playoffs too.
Yeah.
So it's like you gotta be able like within these next 3 years, name if I'll keep saying it, if they don't win a playoff game within these next 3 years, it's time to like get the fan card just throw out the window because we as fans, and Audie said it yesterday, we especially young fans, we are allowed to be impatient. We haven't seen this team be haven't seen this team won a playoff game. I haven't last time they won a playoff game, I was 3 years old. 2 years old technically, but it's still like it's baby steps, and the biggest step right now is winning a playoff game. So
Mhm.
hopefully these guys that they can bring in are winners. And it's gonna be a long off season. I'm gonna try to make as much content as possible. Just GM rumors, head coach, national championship game is tonight, so we can talk about that a little bit. Who do you have winning tonight?
I'll be honest, I don't watch college football like that, but the way Michael Penix played in the semifinal, I want Washington to win, man. Michael Penix is a dog.
Yeah,
So
I think if Penix or the Washington and Penix they win today, I think Penix's draft stock is gonna skyrocket. As great as Michigan has as great Michigan has as their defense, I think Penix he has seen tough defenses and he's been just slinging it. So I think Washington will come out on top and they win. I don't know. Have they ever won a national title in football? I don't even know to be honest.
I don't know, but we got to root for one Washington, bro. One
Yeah,
Washington's in the final.
yeah. One wide. We got to root for. Uh, yeah, awesome.
It's a
The
party this
He was
season.
the only guy that I could rant to every Sunday after a game. We just talk about how poor this
Wait,
team is.
what team is Osmond's for?
He's a Commanders. He's all DC
Oh, he's
too.
a fan.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So it's brighter days are ahead for this team, dude. That's all you can say. But before we're out, name, is there anything else you want to say?
Not nothing much, man. It's gonna be a long off season. Hopefully, we can make the right moves. I mean, it's always that. Hopefully, we make the right moves. Abdul says the future is bright. I don't know too much about that just yet, but I mean, the future could be bright. It could be, depending on how our picks and our players play. But
Hmm.
as of right now, the future is it's just there. It's just
Yeah.
the
The
future is
only
what
way
it
to
is.
go is up. I'll say that. Once you hit
No, no,
400
it's not. No, it is not. No, it is not.
I'm telling
You
you,
are wrong.
if
No.
if it's not Dan Snyder, I have so much confidence in the people in charge. Any other person but Dan.
If there's one thing I know about Abdul, if he has confidence in something, don't listen to him, bro. Because he was going the season. Obviously, I was hyping up Sam Howell too, but this man was on that Sam Howell train. He was riding the storm.
Yeah.
He was going through his ups
Oh,
and
it's gonna
downs.
suck, bro. Like I had so much. It's like, dude, like his like they should actually like the NFL should talk about it more. How much of a fallout he has, how he had. Like he was at one point leading the league in passing, and now he leads the league in turnovers, interceptions. 21 for 21, bro. Like, oh Sam. And again,
I
I will say that 100% is on him, but
yeah,
you gotta fifth round quarterback. Come on, dude. You got like, there's no way the new regime's gonna hope bank on him being the guy.
yeah.
But nah, dude. That's pretty much it, guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on all social media platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter at DMV Sports Zone. And we're out. Peace.